Boat friends, you're looking at the beautiful and the powerful Great Lakes Icebreaker Mackinaw in Duluth, Minnesota. And this video is so special to me. Right there, you see Commander Greene. She's in charge of the vessel and the crew. And I'm starting out with a lot of different smaller clips so you can see what's coming in the video, but literally everything that you'd want to experience, I was able to do on this vessel. So it's going to be such a fun journey. We were able to go out and do some ice breaking operations. You can see right there, these are called lightning strike cracks. The pressure of the vessel is creating that. It's just so unbelievable. So if you're a person that might be interested in joining the Coast Guard, or you love ships, or you're just maybe a maritime aficionado, all of the things that you'd want to see are in this video. I was able to take a tour of the engine room. I saw what the crew was eating and just all of those little details that you'd want to see as part of a video like this. I just parked here in the lot next to the lift bridge. You can see that beautiful sunrise that's starting. Plenty of ice in the harbor. And there's the ship that we will be going on. Commander Greene, she told me to be there at 7:30 a.m. So I'm going to walk over there and we're going to start the journey. Here's a closer look at the ship before I get on board. I had to give you a double dose of this sunrise here in Duluth with that ice. Pretty spectacular. Okay, weather before we jump on the ship, 21 degrees Fahrenheit out, 6 below Celsius, southwest wind, 9 miles per hour, and there was good ice-making weather over the last 24 hours. This map will help you understand exactly where we will be going. So take a look at that blue arrow. That's our starting point. That's where the Mackinaw is docked. The purple arrows are showing you where we will be conducting those ice-breaking operations. Over by CN Dock, also the Superior Bay, and that red arrow is showing you the Superior entry. Once we're done doing those ice-breaking operations, we're going to go out that Superior entry out onto Lake Superior and back under the aerial lift bridge. And guess what, boat friends, you are not going to want to miss this. Your buddy Mike is going to hit the horn doing a master salute as we go under the lift bridge. There's another look at that beautiful sunrise here in Duluth. Beautiful orange. You have the aerial lift bridge. Well, Commander Greene has now started her morning meeting, going over a strategic game plan with all of the crew members that are here on the bridge. And you can see Commander Greene right there in the red hat. All of the officers and the crew members up here are just talking about different things. You know, what if they encounter certain situations, and just making sure that everybody knows exactly what to do. But it's really fun being next to all of these crew members as they start their day and just make sure everything is in place to make sure it's a safe journey out on the water. The crew is finishing up the morning meeting, and there's just a lot of positive, good energy. Everybody is listening attentively to make sure they don't miss anything. But again, it's just all about making sure things are safe, and everybody's feeling really positive as I see it right now. I stepped outside real quick. There's the aerial lift bridge. See that ice down there? This is that first peak now aboard the vessel as I'm outside. This is going to be an incredible journey. It's just about to get started. So they're asking if I want to blow the horn. What do you think that answer is? Is this it right
this
here?
One, a nice 6 seconds, if you will.
6 seconds, okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Well done.
That's unbelievable. What do you think of that, boat friends? We just pushed the horn. Now here's a look at the stacks from the other side. I just went out the door. And over here, this is the Duluth Entertainment and Convention Center. It's really nice to be pushing away from the dock. Take a look. A few pieces of ice right here. And the commander said that I have full access. I can walk around anywhere on this ship to show you. A little bit of ice out there. There's the stern. Looks like someone's checking things out. Well, what do you think, boat friends? Let's go check out the view from up here. You can see everything. Look at all this different equipment that's up here. Looks like some spotlights, some satellite equipment, maybe weather. Wow, this is really something from up here. Look at the crew members down there working. Now you can see we are fully away from the dock. I noticed right away that these doors are really solid.
Yes,
Now you can see we're taking off towards the Superior Bay. The visibility up here is just unbelievable. These windows give you a full shot of everything. You can see all the crew members working. They all have their own individual assignments. Oh, there's an eagle right there. Look at that. You're on a Coast Guard vessel and a bald eagle is flying by. That's a good sign. There's our first encounter. You can see some of the ice breaking apart down below. Very smooth right now as we are making our way towards the Superior Bay. That bow is really working. Give you a better shot of some of those sheets breaking away. Look how interesting that is. Look at those little pieces of ice that have broken off that are gliding over the surface. It almost looks like something you'd see on Star Wars. Look at that. That's incredible. That is just so cool. Let's go back outside. I want to go back up top with you right now. Hey, here's a shot looking at the stern, and you can see that path that we are making right now. What's interesting is that the commander told me that last night the Lie Togurtha arrived here in Duluth, and this is the exact same path. So she's just trying to replicate that, assuming the other ships would want to do the same thing. Take a look over there at Park Point. Let's go up these stairs. I don't think that this view up here will ever get old to us. You can see everything. Looking straight out at the bay. The ice is stretching all over. The ice is all the way over there to Port Terminal, as you can see. Look at this view, boat friends. Looking down from the ship at that ice. Look over there, you can see the Atlantic Huron, already in winter layup. Take a look at the communication equipment up here. You can see the radar spinning. And right back behind this, you can see the two flags flying on this cold day. Hey, I'll tell you the strategy that I have going right now. I go outside for a little while, 5-10 minutes. You can feel how cold it is just because we're moving. That wind chill makes it a little colder for me. So I come back in, nice and warm. Look out those windows, though. How can you beat that? Looking out at the ice, that sun behind the clouds. It's just a beautiful day here on the Mackinaw. Who is actually steering this vessel, and where are those controls for everybody to see?
Yes, so this is Lieutenant Commander Kent Hunt. He is a Coast Guard ship captain. His ship is based out of Port Huron, Michigan. He's the captain of Coast Guard cutter Sequoia. He's sailing with us right now to get some experience on Mackinaw because it's a very different ship. But he's completing an ice pivot right now, which is how he can really quickly turn around, almost on a dime. We call it turning on a quarter. But what he's going to do is he's going to widen our track that we just made because we're anticipating the Presque Isle coming in maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And they are much wider than we are. They're like 40 feet wider than us. So we have to make sure that this track is wide enough to accommodate them.
And it's these controls that he's using. So obviously people are so used to a steering wheel, and this is something a little different.
It is. Some people are disappointed that we don't have the big helm, the big ship's wheel. What we have are these controllers that control the azipods. And so that he has to have independent control of each of those pods. Are you coming back starboard?
Coming back starboard.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just kind of getting to the edge of that rash.
Also, on normal Coast Guard ships, you would hear someone giving a helmsman command. So you would hear, helmsman, left full rudder, helmsman, easy rudder, shift your rudder, steady up on course,
Towards,
320. Here, because he's got to be able to move those pods really quickly, it's really hard to give commands. And so the conning officer on Mackinaw is truly the one with their hands on the controls.
So, Commander, I noticed over here you have a display. What is going on over here?
This is our electronic chart, and we monitor it the entire time. Right now, EXO, he's in the position of coach for the conning officer. We have a full-time navigation evaluator who's also using the same system right over here. So what SK2 is doing is he's letting the conning officer know, hey, you're 50 yards left of track. You're holding, you're opening. Recommend you come right, recommend you come left. So that keeps us in safe water. that also helps us right now. We're trying to widen this track, and so he's able to actually use the electronic chart to help us really quantify, how far are we from our original track? Do we have room? Are we getting into a unsafe position?
Commander Greene had so many nice things to say about captains of the tugs out on the Great Lakes. Look over there, you have the North Carolina, the Missouri, and the Kentucky. It's always fun listening to Chip come over the radio as they're breaking ice with those tugs. I love looking off the stern, and you can see that path that we created. A lot of ice chunks still out there. Look over there at the Blotnick Bridge. You can see right through it. All of us are big fans of the horns on these ships. Here's an up close and personal look at this great horn on the Mackinaw, looking super powerful. Give you a better shot of some of these controls and check out that screen. So the Mackinaw has a propulsion system that allows it to do a 360 pivot. That's exactly what we're doing right now. You can see the CN dock in Duluth there in the distance, but just look how nimble this big ship is.
The little spots where we do our little turnaround, just
Basically
becomes a dot, and then we go right back the other direction, little dot, and then we're going back.
Check that out, boat friends. So Chris is pointing out, you can see the past track of what we've done right there. You see that pivot that we just went through. You can see we're doing another turn. You can see all of that coal. When I'm recording at Smet Dock, that's all that coal. See those train cars? And that's the Bong Bridge that's in the distance right there. And you can see Spirit Mountain. That's where a lot of the people ski in Duluth. And now they're going to make the turn. Check that out. The commander says, go ahead and stick that camera out the window, no problem. Give you a better look at how they have everything wired and set up in here. It's really an amazing area. So much going on, so much to look at. There's that bell. And I notice just everybody is concentrating on what they have to do. They're really taking things serious. You can see they're in control of the vessel right now. I think if you're an icebreaker, this is definitely one of the hats that should be on board. There's a good close-up of the CN dock, of the flag from our bow. You can see that ice there on the right side of the dock. Looks like it's broken up on the left side where the ships have been. You can see this turn once again. We're pivoting towards the Blotnick Bridge. It's just done with ease. And you can see the commander over there talking with the crew. She has created such a positive and fun environment with such a serious job for everybody. It is just awesome. They're determining the next step in the journey. Now we're going to be heading back out towards the Superior Bay into the harbor basin under the Blotnick Bridge. Straight ahead. Give you a better shot of this chair. I'm sure there's been a lot of awesome views sitting in this. We're getting closer to the Blotnick, so why don't we go back outside and go back upstairs to take a look at what's going on. Don't get me wrong, I like being inside here, but it's really fun going up these stairs and checking out that view. I like being around all of the equipment up here as well. I'm being very careful as I walk around. But look at the Blotnick. A lot of you have been asking about the Michipicoten and the Ryerson. Let's look over there at Fraser. You can see the Michipicoten right there. Look to the right. You can see the stern of the Ryerson just past that bridge. But there you go. Couple legends on the lake. There's the old bridge. It's now a fishing pier right next to the Blotnick. And a lot of you that don't know, this bridge is going to get demolished. A new bridge will be taking its place very soon. Now, boat friends, I'm going to tell you something amazing here with Commander Greene. And she was telling me there was an initial report that there was an ice shanty back in the navigational channel. So we almost had two of the same videos, but luckily that person did move it, so we're not going to have to deal with that today. But just amazing going down the channel here towards Superior. You can really see the ice breaking as we make our way all the way down. Boat friends, do you want to see something spectacular? Look at this. The commander told me these are called lightning cracks. Look at that ice. It's all because of the pressure of this vessel going through that ice. That is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. That is so cool. Look at that. I mean, again, it looks like lightning strikes going through the ice. That is so awesome. Lightning cracks. I never knew about it. And as we look at these lightning cracks, think about the ice shanty video. That's why Commander Greene made sure the vessel was stopped way before that ice shanty, because they did not want to compromise the structural integrity of the ice, to make sure that there was no issues as those crew members walked out and checked on that shanty. But look at how cool this is going down the channel. So we're getting closer to all of these ice shanties, which, if you think about it, that's what started all of this, how we're on the vessel. Let's take a look at what they're doing. Looks like they're far enough away not to create any concern for Commander Greene or the crew. Making our way down towards the ore docks here, you can see in the distance. And I'll give all of you a quick peek of the Eagle that sits here. This is a vessel that now acts as a cement storage barge, essentially. Once in a while when we see the Alpina come in, it's docked up right next to it. Now we're closer to these shanties. Take a quick peek again. You can see that ice all the way over to Park Point. You can see he's controlling the vessel right now. I just overheard them saying that we're doing 7 knots right now as we make our way down. I really love being on this icebreaker. Just look down at this ice as we go by. And now we're approaching the docks, as you can see. And the Superior entry right over in this direction, and the ship is going to loosen up the area right now. And as we look out, getting closer to those docks, you can see we're going to do some work right here, breaking ice. Good look at the crew. You can see everybody's still keeping their eye on what's going on. It's really fun walking around and just blending into what's going on. Just a remarkable crew here on the Mackinaw. Let's go back outside. I'll show you these docks again up close as we go by. Boat friends, I want to show you something that has historical significance. That's dock number 1 right there, here in Superior, Wisconsin. That's the dock that Edmund Fitzgerald departed from on its last voyage. So no matter what, we will never forget the captain and that crew. You can see Commander Greene in the window right there checking things out. There's a Superior entry. I came out because they said they're going to make a pivot to the port side, so I wanted to catch this. And now the crew is preparing to go out onto Lake Superior. I can't wait to do this. You know, it was only a few months ago that I went through this entry for the last time on my pontoon before I had to put it in storage. And if you would have told me I would be going through this entry a few months later on the Mackinaw, I would have told you that you are crazy. This is still surreal for me to be out on the ship looking at this view. They're going to hit the horn. And here you go. Here's the Superior entry from a viewpoint on a ship. And it was only a few weeks ago that I was standing right there recording the Mackinaw arriving here in Superior. What an amazing few weeks it's been. We just noticed some bald eagles on the marker just before we go out onto the big lake. They're actually flying with the ship right here. How cool that is. Okay, Commander Greene said that now that we are out in the open water here on Lake Superior, it's safe now from ice. She said it's time now to go and have some lunch. So we're going to go down to the galley. We're going to go down the stairs all the way to the bottom of the ship and check things out here. So now we just left the bridge. We're going to be walking all the way down these stairs to grab some lunch. Now we're making our way towards the mess. You can see in the galley here, nice and clean. Good looking food. Plenty of activity here. It's lunchtime, so everybody's kind of kicking back, getting ready for the second part of the day. Gonna eat some lunch here with everybody in a moment. Give you a shot here. Looks like some coffee, juice, milk, got some soda. Really nice environment. Got the TV on in the background. See, they got some salad. Throwing some healthy options, right? Here's where I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to be sitting next to the commander. Nice table in here. It's going to be a fun chat. I'm going to put the camera down, though. Just got done with lunch. The food was absolutely fantastic. Super fresh. Great conversations at the table. And take a look around. If you're thinking of joining the Coast Guard, they know how to have fun. Look at this awesome room to kick back in. This is a great environment. Now it's time for a tour of the engine room. I know a lot of you love those diesel engines, but I have to wear a headset so I can communicate with the crew members as we go down into the engine room. Take a look at these Caterpillar 3612 turbo engines, V12s, lots of power. There's 3 total of these powering the Mackinaw. These red canisters are used for firefighting if needed on the vessel. This is the switchboard area of the vessel. We just came down these stairs. Any of this, I have no idea. All I know is it's super clean, really well taken care of, and you really have to know what you're doing to operate it. This is the repair locker.
Yes.
Got all kinds of different pieces of equipment and devices that might be needed, no matter what the situation might be.
Yep. Firefighting kits.
Firefighting kits.
For flooding.
Flooding.
Yep.
Now we're going to look at the actual unit that allows this vessel to do those 360s. This is that propulsion unit. Look how clean it is in here. Look at all of this interesting equipment. Here's a full look around that room now. Got some blue and yellow lights up on the ceiling. You have a wall of different specs.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at this, both friends.
This is the drawing from the side.
So let's take a moment to get to know the ship. It is 240 feet long and it's 58 feet wide. From an ice breaking standpoint, 32 inches of continuous ice breaking, moving at about 3 knots. It does have the ability to break ice that's 42 inches, and that's at ramming speed. 550 horsepower bow thruster, and it has 2 of those azipods that allows it to do those 360-degree turns, and also those 3 Caterpillar diesel engines that you just saw. So a lot of people might wonder how thick the hull is. This is an actual object that shows you here's how thick it is right here. 7A steel. You can see the John J. Bolin out there on Lake Superior. Now there is a meeting going over the game plan to head in under the Duluth area lift bridge. So everybody is just making sure they know what they will be doing as we get closer to the dock.
We'll follow her in, so I think that's going to be awesome. You'll have a nice visual of another ship heading in there. So, and also let's monitor their speed as well. I think 5 knots sounds great. It seems like they go through there a little quicker than that, but we'll find out. Yeah. Okay, so our evolution is safe transit under the bridge and a safe mooring. Kind of cool because we have another vessel with us that we get to follow in. That is awesome. So we'll be doing a nice Great Lakes salute for tradition coming in underneath the bridge. And then just, I think, for those of you out on deck, I know we kind of say this every time, but we need time to approach that pier. Any other things that we've learned we want to share? Cool. All right, if we do want to use the bow thruster and there is ice, you should sweep the pier of ice first and then make that same approach. All right, any other questions or anything before we start?
Really cool being able to see the Bolin inside the Mackinaw right now. You can see it's heading towards the bridge.
Do that.
So boat friends, the commander just asked me if it'd be okay if I do the salute as we go under the lift bridge. What do you think I said? Oh yeah, we're doing it. You can see that lift bridge is going up there for the Bolin. I see there's some ice on the bow as it heads in, and as I mentioned, we're going to follow that under the aerial lift bridge in a few minutes.
Combat control for Women Labs. We are now on port and center, and we are going to be using the starboard 360 training.
Make control con, Roger. We're going to be on port and center MDG to continue training on staff.
We're all watching the Bolin just ahead of us, just about making it to the piers. I was talking to Chris again, and he's been in the Coast Guard over 23 years, and you're able to take up so many different hobbies and cool hobbies because you get to travel so much and do cool things. He was telling me about photography. Check this out.
This being my 3rd icebreaker, I've been able to do 2 tours on the Healy, which is one of the polar icebreakers. So the first time I was on there, we went up north, and you see that first polar bear out on the ice. You say, "Oh my God, I really got to get pictures of this." And then never really had a great camera. That was back in the early 2000s, and just didn't quite do it. So my second tour on there, the first thing I did was I bought a really nice camera with multiple lenses, and once again had some of those amazing opportunities to see really cool polar bears coming right up to the ship, some Arctic foxes, all the walrus, whales, all the cool wildlife you get up in the Arctic. And I would just be able to break out that camera. If I wasn't directly standing and watching, having to be paying attention to what the ship was doing, I was out on deck taking pictures. It was awesome.
And I can't tell you how excited I am to actually hit this horn for you. It's going to be awesome. They also told me, let's do a master salute. So we're going to make it happen. It's almost time, and so here's what I'm going to push right here. Now we're getting closer. You can see the Bolin is actually making its turn past the bridge.
there's a great view right there of like so their stern gets pretty close to the starboard side.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
usually make that turn?
That's good.
245.
Did they salute? Good on that.
We have another eagle as we approach the lift bridge. Okay, boat friends, here's the game plan. I'm going to hit that horn right there. They're going to have that side door open, so I'm going to walk from the horn right out through that door, and we are going to look at the canal.
I would have had my coffee.
Here we go. There we go. Number one. Look at that.
So I'm going to hit that salute when we get between the Greene gate and the lighthouse. Make sure that we get a good blast for the people that are here. Have the South Pier right here, North Pier right here, and that bridge. You know, as I'm standing here, it's just surreal to look out and watch it from this perspective. And again, we're going to do a master salute when we do it in a few seconds. A shot of who's all down there. I'm ready to hit it. Ready? We're going to do it. Unbelievable. Can you believe that, boat friends? Can you believe it? Got the commander out here as well. Yeah, that just happened. A master salute to the aerial lift bridge on none other than the Mackinaw. You have to be kidding me. Boat friends, I am so glad that you were with me on this. This is just an amazing moment for us to share together. And there's a lot more coming. We have to go dock. You're going to see that, as well as you're going to hear from Commander Greene in just a few moments. She's going to talk with all of you. Look at that lift bridge. Look at this view. You can't even make it up. When the season started, did you ever believe this would happen? You can always dream, and sometimes they do come true. This is a perfect example. And there, the aerial lift bridge is coming down from 135 feet from the stern of the Mackinaw. Still got some sheets of ice here. Mackinaw will get right through this, no problem. As we head over to dock, check out the crew members on deck, getting ready to tie us up. Very interesting process to watch. These crew members looking to secure this vessel to the wall. And you know that line, that's not light. So it definitely has some weight. Okay, looks like they got it around. This is pretty interesting. They're going to switch the flags here. The one that is currently on the mast that's coming down, that was the one when we were out on the water. And then here's the new flag going all the way back up. I had to come back inside. It was pretty cold up there, so now I'm warming up a little bit. What a great job the crew did securing the vessel. Give you a shout out here real quick. What an amazing group of smart professionals, the crew on the Mackinaw. I'm not even kidding you. When I tell you that they worked together like a family, they absolutely did. They had each other's backs. You could feel the camaraderie and the care for everything that they did. And it starts with Commander Greene. It really does. You could feel it start from the top and work its way down. And if you are considering a career in the Coast Guard, I'm going to tell you something. After spending that full day there is no doubt. Don't even hesitate about it. Check into it, and you could be on this icebreaker or doing another role within the Coast Guard somewhere within the United States. What an amazing experience. Let's hear more from Commander Greene. Since I've posted that original video of the Mackinaw, I've received hundreds of emails from people asking about the Coast Guard, asking how they could have their grandson, granddaughter, son, daughter, people asking how they can get onto an icebreaker. And I posed this question to Commander Greene: how can someone start that journey?
First of all, to all the boat friends, we're so excited that you guys are interested in what we're doing. We're also super interested in your hobby, like all the ships and what the ships are doing up here, and also these awesome cities like Duluth Superior. So we're very interested in you too, and just so honored that anyone would take a minute to try to learn about the Coast Guard. I do think some of our well-known missions are search and rescue. I think people know about that one, which is just the bread and butter of the Coast Guard. But these unique Great Lakes missions are just like so cool. So you got to see ice breaking today.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do is buoy tending. That's why we have that big crane. But as far as getting on an icebreaker, so if you join the Coast Guard, there's a few different paths into it. And people should definitely talk to a Coast Guard recruiter. There's one in every big city. You have a really good presence of recruiters in Chicago, great presence of recruiters in Minneapolis, St. Paul. If people get online and they Google Coast Guard recruiter.
I told Commander Greene how I felt regarding the positivity and just how unbelievably professional that crew was that whole day that I was there. And I asked her about what kind of a recruit is the Coast Guard looking for?
We have crew from everywhere, and I'm so glad that you felt that positivity. That's what gives me energy to this day. Every day that I get to wake up and be with this crew, that's the best part of this job. And the ship is super cool, but the crew is even cooler. And I truly think literally anyone. We have people from all over the country. We have people who earned their citizenship here, who came from other countries. It's a fantastic way to earn your citizenship, is to be like, you know what, I want to serve in the armed forces. That is an incredible way to have people come into our country and work alongside us. And so we have people who grew up with nothing. We have people who grew up with more. And so I think there isn't any one thing. I think if you are interested in getting out of your comfort zone, which all of us had to do to come join the Coast Guard, if you think ships are cool, if you think the water is cool, if you want to help people, join the Coast Guard.
I asked Commander Greene about the adventures that people can have in the United States Coast Guard. I remember when I talked to Chris, he told me about so many things that he got to do and places that he got to go in his 23 years. So I wanted to know from Commander Greene, what can someone expect?
Yes, absolutely. And, as you've heard now, I got my start on the Great Lakes on this very ship. My next ship after that was in Rhode Island. And then I spent a couple of tours in Alaska. My family and I got to go up to Sitka, Alaska. And then we also got to go to Homer, Alaska. And we saw eagles here today, which was awesome. Alaska is like Eagle Central.
Yeah.
And, as a kid that grew up in cornfields, getting to see whales, getting to see sea otters, getting to see aurora, like all through the winter, and getting to go to places where glaciers are calving off and falling into the water. Like, it is just, there's so many incredible things to see, and to just being there, raising my young kids in these little towns in Alaska has been like one of the most incredible adventures of my life. Then there's other cool things ships get to do, going through the Panama Canal, trying to collect all 5 Great Lakes to become a Great Lakes sailor, trying to cross, the Arctic Circle, the international date line. We celebrate all of those things on ships.
Boat friends, what an amazing experience to be able to go on board the Coast Guard Icebreaker Mackinaw. It's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. And to Commander Greene, you are a wonderful person. You are a great leader. Thank you so much for allowing us on board. And to the crew of the Mackinaw, you are so great. It is just an honor to know that you are out there serving the United States Coast Guard. Just a A-class professional group of people. And to the people that might be wanting to know more about the Coast Guard, I hope this gave you a nice behind-the-scenes look of what you would experience: true leadership, true friendship, and people that really have your back. And to all the boat friends, thank you so much for watching another video. Please hit the like button on the way out. It'll allow people that enjoy the ships to find this channel and also subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. You'll be part of the Boat Friends community. Thank you so much for watching another video. Here's a few videos to watch if you want to keep rolling.